Hey guys, this is Tommy with Tommy Nation Politics. How's everyone doing today?
Donald Trump may have been acquitted in his second impeachment trial, but the former U.S. president's legal woes are far from over. House Speaker Nancy Pelosi has called for the creation of an independent commission to look into the Capitol Hill siege last month.
Your Majesty.
The prince is giving a ball.
Mr. Trump is accused of inciting his supporters to fight against his election loss.
The prince is giving a ball.
The prince is giving a ball. The prince is giving a ball.
His Royal Highness, Christopher Rupert, Windermere, Vladimir, Carl Alexander, Francois Reginald, Lancelot Herman, Gregory James is giving a ball.
And remember that Senator Mitch McConnell, the Republican leader in the body, indicated over the weekend that, as he put it, Donald Trump hasn't got away with anything yet. There will be other consequences potentially for him as a result of the uprising that left 5 people dead at the beginning of last month. And those consequences could well arise out of a report that is gathered by an independent commission, because it would essentially be the unvarnished truth. Democrats hope and Republicans may end up conceding about what actually took place that day, giving fresh impetus for the former president to face further legal challenges and consequences down the road.
And Simon, it's not the end of Mr. Trump's legal woes, is it?
No, absolutely not, because there's a whole raft of other investigations underway. He, of course, could face civil actions, for example, from the families of one of the police officers who died in the Capitol Hill insurrection, or from the family even of one of Donald Trump's supporters shot by police during the course of that January the 6th uprising. So civil action absolutely possible, but equally the former president has a raft of other criminal investigations to worry about, including the one that's taking place in Georgia over his telephone call to Republican election officials there, urging them to help him find more votes to beat Joe Biden in the state, and of course the ongoing investigations into Donald Trump's business activities and his personal life, most of them taking place in New York. So by no means out of the legal woods, but absolutely preparing still, he says, to breathe new life into his political movement, Make America Great Again.
Our daughter's looking dreamy-eyed.
The prince is giving a ball.
They say he wants to find a bride. He may find one at the ball. If only he proposed to me. I pray that he'll propose to me. Why shouldn't he propose to me? I'll wear a gown of satin jade.
Me, I'll be in a pink brocade.
And me, I'm in the 7th grade.
The prince is giving a ball. The prince is giving a ball.
Hey guys, this is Tommy with Tommy Nation Politics. How's everyone doing today? Tommy Nation Politics.
The American public this morning getting a rare look into how its highest level leaders operated in the pandemic's early days. And now the focus on Dr. Anthony Fauci's view on where the virus started. That's after several news organizations obtained thousands of pages of Fauci's emails under the Freedom of Information Act from the first months of 2020, including one sent by Dr. Francis Collins, the head of the NIH. Its subject line: conspiracy gains momentum. linking to a story on a Fox News report suggesting COVID-19 leaked from a lab in Wuhan. Fauci's response? Blacked out. Many dismissed the idea of a lab leak in 2020, but it's now gaining momentum after a U.S. intelligence report that 3 researchers at that lab got sick weeks before China confirmed its first case. The emails also show the founder of an institute, EcoHealth Alliance, with ties to the lab, thanking Fauci for supporting the theory that COVID naturally developed. Some NIH funds aimed at collecting samples went to the Wuhan lab via EcoHealth. The Wall Street Journal, writing in an editorial this morning, it's reasonable to ask why Dr. Fauci was slow to accept the possibility of a lab leak.
Did you agree at that time in April of 2020 that the lab leak theory was a conspiracy theory?
No, not necessarily at all. The situation is that we didn't know, and we still don't know, what the origin is.
Fauci, the nation's top infectious diseases doctor, now under fire from conservatives who suggest he didn't do enough to investigate where the virus originated.
We need to get to the bottom of this. Dr. Fauci needs to be brought in under oath to answer questions about this.
But Fauci points out the NIH is not responsible for such an investigation. During the pandemic, remember, Fauci faced fire from some of the former president's supporters because Fauci backed pandemic precaution. And to give you a sense of what else these emails show, when a Chinese scientist wrote to Fauci to check in on him, quote, being attacked, the doctor responded, all is well, despite some crazy people in this world.
You've had the distinct
Craig?
honor and pleasure of having some of your emails, many of your emails, released to the public over the last few days. And there have been questions or controversy, some ginned up, but some questions raised about some of them. And I want to get you on the record addressing some of them. There was an email sent to you from an executive at EcoHealth Alliance, and this is one of the companies that funded some of the research at the Wuhan lab. And this email thanked you for basically saying you believed that the origins of the coronavirus were natural. This email said, quote, I wanted to say a personal thank you on behalf of our staff and collaborators for publicly standing up and stating that the scientific evidence supports a natural origin for COVID-19 from bat to human spillover, not a lab release from the Wuhan Institute of Virology. That email was April 18th. Now, there are some of your critics who say this shows you have too cozy of a relationship with the people behind the Wuhan lab research. What do you say to that?
Oh, that's nonsense. I don't even see how they get that from that email. That email was sent to me from them. I have always said, and will say today to you, John, that I still believe the most likely origin is from an animal species to a human, but I keep an absolutely open mind that if there may be other origins of that, there may be another reason. It could have been a lab leak. I believe if you look historically, what happens in the animal-human interface, that in fact the more likelihood is that you're dealing with a jump of species. But I keep an open mind all the time. And that's the reason why I have been public that we should continue to look for the origin. That email, in no way, you can misconstrue it however you want. That email was from a person to me saying, thank you for whatever it is he thought I said. And I said that I think the most likely origin is a jumping of species. I still do think it is, at the same time as I'm keeping an open mind that it might be a lab leak.
There was an email on April 16th, an email exchange between you and NIH Director Francis Collins. The email sent to you said conspiracy theory gains momentum. And this, again, was the idea of the lab leak. Those emails, though, as you can see on the screen, or I can see on the screen, was all redacted between you and Francis Collins.
Yeah.
Do you happen to remember?
You know,
do you remember what was in the email?
John, they only took about 10,000 emails from me. Of course, I remember. I remember all 10,000 of them. Give me a break.
So, but to be clear, you're saying you don't remember, you can't tell us what was in the body of that exchange.
I don't remember what's in that redacted, but there, I mean, the idea, I think, is quite far-fetched that the Chinese deliberately engineered something so that they could kill themselves. as well as other people. I think that's a bit far out, John.
And then finally, there was an
Fauci's
email
never heard of
from you,
kamikazes
Sylvia
before.
Burwell, the
Fauci's new to
former
the
HHS
kamikaze
secretary that had
experience.
to do with masks.
He
And
never
this
heard of
is
that
getting a great
shit.
deal of attention. The date here is February 5th, which I think is hugely important. She apparently had asked you whether she should wear a mask on a trip, and you responded to her concluding, I do not recommend that you wear a mask, particularly since you are going to a very low-risk location. That was February 5th. A lot has transpired since then. If you had to go back and do it all over again, would you tell her something different? Do you regret that?
Well, you know, John, let's get real here. If you look at scientific information as it accumulates, what is going on in January and February, what you know as a fact, as data, guides what you tell people and your policies. If March, April, May occur, you accumulate a lot more information and you modify and adjust your opinion and your recommendation based on the current science and current data. So of course, if we knew back then that a substantial amount of transmission was asymptomatic people, if we knew then that the data show that masks outside of a hospital setting are actually do work when we didn't know it then. If we realized all of those things back then, of course, you're asking a question, would you have done something different if you know what you know now? Of course people would have done that. That's so obvious.
So let's go to the top person in search for facts, the director of the National Institutes of Health, Dr. Francis Collins. It's good to have you on Primetime, Doc.
Glad to be with
Call
you,
me on
Chris,
Prime
and glad
Time.
to talk about what really happened here. As
Y'all
best
watching
we
Call
know
Me
it,
on
it
Prime
still
Time?
leaves a lot of gaps.
I want to get into that morass. Let me just take one step back. The idea of the Chinese having viruses come from bats that make their way into the rest of the world.
The
and make people
idea!
sick, even in America, is
Positively
not
discouraging.
new. Why have we, nor any kind of consortium, ever done anything about that fact before now?
Well, goodness, we knew, go all the way back to when SARS emerged almost 20 years ago, that came from a bat that got transferred ultimately through a civet cat to humans and took the lives of a few thousand people. So we knew that was a serious issue. MERS came along a bit later, same thing, except it was a camel that was the intermediate host. So we at the National Institutes of Health had to be concerned about that. Global health doesn't really care about country boundaries with the way things travel around the world. We had to be interested in knowing, well, what other viruses are lurking in bats in caves in China? Because that seemed to be where
But nobody ever
was.
cracked down on
Probably
them.
wouldn't have done.
Nobody ever cracked down on them. I find that curious. Is that just politics? Was it being afraid of what China would do in response? Why not?
Well, there was a lot of criticism of how China squelched the information about SARS when that happened. Go back and look at those reports. Clearly, they were not transparent about what was happening, and the virus got spread to other places in ways that maybe could have been prevented. So, yeah, there was quite a bit of criticism.
I'm just saying criticism.
Recognition that those
criticism wasn't enough, is all I'm saying. Because what we have now is, obviously under President Trump, you had the CDC cut its staff there by about 2/3, so you didn't even have eyes on the ground. And that leads us to our current problem with contagion, which is where this started. Now, is it a fair criticism to say that you were dismissive of the lab theory early on, and that now you are more open to it? And if it is fair, why did you change?
It's not entirely fair, Chris. You know, when this virus first emerged, all of us at NIH were deeply engaged in studying its genome, its letters and its sequence to try to understand what its connection was with previous viruses. And we could see it was a bat virus that looked a lot like one that had been found in a cave in China 7 or 8 years earlier, but it had a lot of differences. Then the theory began to be put forward. Well, maybe it's human engineered. Maybe it's an intentional bioweapon that has been put together with the intention of killing people. That theory really didn't hold up. You could look at the letters of the RNA code and say, no human would have come up with this. That was rather widely spread. The idea that it might have been an accidental leak from the lab, on the other hand, always seemed sort of a dark and unfortunate idea, but not one you could rule out. And today we cannot rule that out. And we know there have been other instances, including in China, where leaks have happened by accidents.
But why are you more opening? Why are you guys calling for an investigation into it now? And just to be fair, you know, even on Fox News, one of the guys was interviewing you about this, and you said, look, I reject the bioweapon part. And, you know, you were told this isn't about a bioweapon, it's just about it happening in a lab. Why are you more open to that suggestion now? Do you think the answer?
I would not say I'm significantly more open than I was last summer when we began to worry about that as a real possibility, but there was so much swirl going on in other areas that probably didn't come to attention. I didn't go to a microphone and announce that. Do I think we'll ever know the answer? Well, we really need evidence-based, expert-driven investigation. That's going to require China to be willing to let investigators look into the lab records, find out what happened in late 2019 in terms of the first cases, including those people who got sick in the lab, and get to the bottom of this. Without that, you know, Chris, we don't know any more about this theory, really, than we did a year ago.
It's gonna be good. It's gonna be good. It's gonna be good. It's gonna be good. 2 weeks and it's all working just the way I knew it would. And I don't sit at work just waiting for the phone to ring. It's a good, 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 good thing. It's gonna be great. It's gonna be great. The sex is still amazing and we don't stay up that late. It's almost been a month and she's as happy as I am. Do I look great? I am. Natalie, and this must be Henry. A pleasure to finally meet you. Come in. Why don't you join us for dinner?
Dad, Henry can't really stay. He's got,
It's gonna be good.
homework.
It's gonna be good.
Surgery.
We'll sit right down together like a happy family should.
Gravy.
Eat and talk and laugh and joke my pride, my brood and me. It's gonna be good, you'll see. We'll smile and chat and just like that we'll all be all okay. It's gonna be great. It's gonna be great. It's gonna be great that way. Hey, it's gonna be good. It's gonna be good. We'll sit right down together like a happy family should. And eat and talk and laugh and joke my family and me. It's gonna be good, 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 you'll see.
Hey guys, happy weekend! Domination politics. Guys, I'm gonna keep this short and sweet. But first off, I want to say, look, we're an organization looking for aggressive expansion. So, make it fast. This is Domination Politics. Free thinking, innovative, totally open-minded. I want you to jump. Jump to progress, guys. Ladies and gentlemen of the 21st century, welcome to the new normal. It's not a 9/11 style commission, but it's a free-thinking, innovative, totally open-minded endeavor. We have work to do. What's on the agenda? Why, promote the general welfare, secure the blessings of liberty to ourselves and our posterity, provide for the common defense, secure our inheritance of life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness.
trying to get stuck in the air. If you feeling so lit and don't care, shorty beat in the face in the mirror, up in the air. I want you to jump like you trying to get stuck in the air. If you feeling so lit and don't care, shorty beat in the face in the mirror, up in the air. I want you to jump. Jump. I want you to jump, 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 jump. Like you trying to get stuck in it. Gotta get it, in the air.
What's up, Doc? How y'all doing today? It's Saturday, June 5th, 2021, year of our Lord. We've got a fun series of political developments happening within the week. Sorry, guys, I was really busy. I got a job, and it's a pretty good job. I waited on that enhanced unemployment, scouring my options and coming to the right conclusion, making the right decisions for my life. No scarcity, no desperation. That's the way life should be, right? Don't you think that is part of life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness? Guys, when you're making decisions based on, what's right for you, instead of desperation, instead of having to go month to month, paycheck to paycheck. What's right? What's more right, guys? What's more right in the life, liberty, the pursuit of happiness category of our rugged individualist spirit? That's what I'm about, guys. Now I know that I already went live today. That wasn't really me. That was the restream. I scheduled it because that was a video of kind of like hinting at the topic. But you guys know that I always talk about the topic before Tommy Nation Tuesday, which is going to be happening June 8th. Guys, don't miss me. Now, I know, I'm sorry. I was busy studying, so I'm a fine dining server now. And I had to make sure that I went through my steps of service correctly, and I had to make sure that I memorized the menu so I could be the best at my job. Because one of the things, there's a lot of downsides to serving tables, but one of the upsides is you really do, you are really in charge of like how much money you make. So I always try to be the best because I like making money because I don't like to be desperate. And plus, I have 2 kids. I know, gay, but 2 kids. They're called Visa and MasterCard, though. They eat a lot. They eat so much, guys. They're so fat. So fat. Chat's open. So I'm gonna make this short and sweet, guys, because I gotta get to work. It's Saturday night. Planning on making a lot of money tonight. But I do want to deliver my topic, and I do want y'all to reflect, and I want y'all to think about this, and I want y'all to get on the chat on Tuesday and actually respond. And like at college, like you actually get points on how much you collaborate with the rest of the class. If you don't fucking talk, you lose points. 5 points from Gryffindor. That's all I have to say, guys. If y'all don't follow my topic and add some stuff, because guys, this is a melting pot of life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. This is a melting pot of all kinds of races, all kinds of ideologies, all kinds of really fun, interesting, somewhat crazy people, all wanting to work for the common good. E pluribus unum. It's what our country was founded on. It's what started our country, and it's what has held our country together until now. Now, I say until now because apparently, and I'm getting a lot of responses on Facebook. If y'all want to go to my Facebook page and respond to me, facebook.com/TommyNationPolitics. But I get a lot of feedback on that, and a lot of what people say agree. let me see. I have right now responding to what's the thing? You know the thing, buddy. Look fat. Cliff Gaines, bro. So we were talking about why does the middle class and the lower class just eat the rich? And Cliff was like, well, because we work for the rich, right? And I was like, you know that time in y'all ever seen Django Unchained? You know that when they're all sitting at the table and Leonardo DiCaprio, Candy, he's talking about how there was all these slaves, all these black people around his dad, but they never rose up. They never, ever rose up. They never fought back. And Candy goes on to say, it's because of that little thing in their skull. All black people have it. All slaves have it. That's a slave indent or something like that. So I asked Cliff, I was like, well, you think the working class has one of those little slave indents? And he wrote back a really spot on, I say target spot on answer on that. He was like, no, it's complacency. It's going along to get along. It's the bandwagon mentality. I completely agree with that, Cliff. And you know what? It sucks. But you know what? Harriet Tubman had to pull some niggas to freedom. There's some of us that have to lead. And I know that the masses complain. They want to go along to get along. They want that bandwagon mentality. They want that conventional wisdom and social norms, guys. They want that new normal. That new normal. Guys, I have a question for the new normal. I have a question for all of you conventional wisdom and social norms partisans. Was the normal good? Did the normal have a living wage? Did the normal have legalization of marijuana? Did the normal have a Green New Deal? Did the normal have your health care premiums tied to your job and employment? Did the normal make sure that you couldn't rise up against master? Did the normal put an indent in your cranium? So why are we going back to the new normal? What is the new normal? And why be normal at all? Guys, this is an amazing time. It's June, which means two things, which means more than two things, but two things to me. Juneteenth, y'all do some research on that. And also, it's Pride. It's Pride, guys. And what we homosexuals don't like to be called is normal. Normal is kind of drab. It's everyday. It's mundane. It's high waters and Reebok t-shirts. We keep it gay. We keep it fab and June. We don't keep it normal, Joe. You know the thing. I was looking up on ABC. ABC, they did an article. They were like, the new normal. 9 things that weren't scary before the pandemic, but are now. Oh my God, they weren't scary before the pandemic, but now they're scary because ABC News tells me they're scary. Let's read. Let's find out what we're supposed to be scared about, guys. I mean, it's not enough that they were scaring you throughout the entire COVID pandemic and telling you that Fauci was God, even though he lied from day one about the masks. And now the chickens have come home to roost on that. ABC News. What was nice about the before the time? Okay, I got to get this good. I got character. I haven't worked in a while, sorry. What was nice about the before times was that for most people, social interaction and outings could be carefree. We miss them. And that's a big reason why we long for the pandemic to end. Oh, we long for the social interactions. But when life stabilizes, the new normal, how will we really feel about resuming activities we used to do? Like dining out or shaking hands. What about hugging people? Will we like to do that still? Oh, could be scary. The world isn't fully safe yet. ABC News telling you right now, the world is not fully safe yet. Who is this bitch? Who wrote this shit? I am going to find out. The world isn't fully safe yet. I don't see any sources on that. I don't see any doctor sources. Did you get that shit from Fauci? Who's telling me the world isn't fully safe yet? Oh my God, guys. Being among the crowds. If you recently have watched a movie film before the pandemic, chances are that movie theaters will now look particularly peculiar to you. You'll find yourself in increasingly close quarters in grocery stores or mass transportation. Mass transportation. That's what the dirty poors do. Oh my God, bro. ABC. I mean, I give you the Emmy. You're one up on the CNN for fear mongering, ABC. So the moral to that story is don't give a shit about the mainstream media. Tune in, turn out, be on. On? You. Be you. Be that rugged individual, free, innovative, totally open-minded person that I know you are. The courageous, manifest destiny pioneer. To infinity and beyond we go, guys. No afraid, no scares. Oh, mass transportation. I don't think I can hug grandma yet. Guys, I look at, it's sad. I don't say this in an arrogant way. I look at the society around me and all I see is a bunch of weak, brainwashed cucks floating around into the ether, either carrying on about the Republicans or carrying on about the Democrats. In fact, it hit me. The reason why Tommy Nation Politics started in the first place. So I literally looked and saw them bail out in 48 hours the banks, the military industrial complex, and Wall Street. I turn around, I'm like telling my friends, guys, you'll see the Democrats and Republicans literally join hands and rob us? Do you know the response I got, guys? But Trump. But Obama. Like, you literally don't fucking care that they're robbing us. You only give a shit about, like, cult personalities. It scared me. And it scared me enough for this Bachelor of Arts graduated musician to turn tail and go political commentary on your ass. Because I can't live in a world with weak-ass, brainwashed, knuckle-dragging cucks. So if I can save a few of you, then I'm no Harriet Tubman, guys. I don't have the patience, and I do not have this the stamina to drag you guys to the north. But if I can just open some eyes, just a few, maybe this world will be a little bit more bearable. Maybe this world will be a little bit more bearable if it wasn't a nation of sheep run by pigs, owned by wolves. Maybe this nation would be a little bit more bearable if 13-year-old juveniles did not go to prison for smoking marijuana in this country. Meanwhile, liars who were part of the public safety, their emails leaked, and they are literally indebted to China, the Chinese Communist Party, the Red Dragon. And not only that, I mean, at best, criminal negligence on Fauci's part. I'm going to be open-minded, guys. At best, criminal negligence on Fauci's part. At worst, he is literally a collusion. He's doing it's Chinese collusion, bro. The Wuhan lab thanked him. Did y'all know that? They thanked him. Did he say you're welcome? He didn't say anything. He said nothing. That's what he's been saying. He's been saying nothing and lies from day one. I don't understand why you guys get behind it. But at the same time, I understand because you guys believe liars all the time. You believe that Joe Biden was going to be progressive. You thought Obama was going to give you a fucking New Deal. You guys listen to pretty floaty rhetoric. You eat it up and you get nothing. And nothing fundamentally changes. I've had it with that shit. I'm not taking it anymore. You can take it all you want. I'm going to be the one calling you a cuck. I don't say it arrogantly, and I don't say that because I'm better than you. I'm saying it because it's true. The truth is, you are a cuck. Do you know what a cuck is? A cuck is someone who literally watches. He's a beta male. He watches his wife or his spouse get fucked by a better partner because he can't do the job. You can't get the job done. The job is promoting the general welfare. The job is providing for the common defense. The job is securing the blessings of liberty to our posterity. You have given our jobs to puppets of the rich, and you follow behind them, and you Instagram and you hashtag, and you fucking cuck around. I'm serious about this country, guys. I'm serious about it. I do like this country. I love this country. I was born in this country. I don't want to leave this country. It's got potential. It's got potential for aggressive expansion, for manifest destiny. All we need to do is clear out the garbage and restore the blessings of liberty to ourselves and our posterity. That's all we need to do. All we need to do is work together for the common good like our founding fathers wanted. Or, they didn't want black people to. But we're gonna. They didn't want gay people to either. But we're gonna. We have the ability now, guys, to make this Constitution mean something that it was supposed to mean, that was written in the Constitution to mean, but it has never meant it in our entire history. And what's more, guys, we're doing it with truth, love, and justice. And that's what I love about June. So my topic, guys. Nancy Pelosi wanted to do she wanted to do a 9/11 style commission. Fortunately, it went to shit. But I will tell you this, guys. What I want to do is I want to do a new normal commission. I would like to hear from the right, the left, the center, all of my friends, whether who you be, let's work together for the common good. Because that's a commission that I could get behind. I will not get behind the funneling of the wealth to the 1%. I will not get behind the Patriot Act or the Guantanamo Bay torture. I will not get behind any of the games that the partisan politician class plays. But I will get behind we the people. Because we the people, in order to form a more perfect union, will establish justice one way or another. I plan on it. I plan on it. I do not plan on letting this country go the way of, I don't know, Germany. The last time cult personality was this fucking, was back in World War II when Germany was, they had gotten all of those, what do you call those things where they lost World War I, right? So they had all these, what's what we're doing to Russia? Sanctions. So they couldn't get, their economy was going to shit. And Hitler came around and started blaming the Jews. In a situation where desperation and hatred run rampant, where the corporations run our lives, and where the 1% own more wealth than the bottom 90% combined, the only outcome of that journey, guys, is us kneeling before a strong man and asking him to save us. And that is Donald Trump in a nutshell, guys. That's what happened. It's going to be a worse Trump. It's not because I voted for Jill Stein or Tulsi Gabbard. It's because you guys refused to do your jobs, what you were ordained to do by your inherited citizenship. You didn't do it. You pawned it off to a neoliberal warmonger racist and his merry band of corporate puppets. So I'm going to reclaim our birthright, and I'm going to speak truth to power. It might get me banned from Facebook. It might get me in trouble with the community standards and guidelines, but guys, we were born on the spirit of rebellion, and from the blood of tyrants, the tree of liberty will be watered. Hear, hear. One if by land, two if by sea, guys. Join me this Tuesday. It's going to be so good. We're going to go the new normal commission. So I've got several guests on. I've got Beyonce Diamond, who is a drag fabuloso. She's going to be part of Pride. I have my good friend Luca Elliott. I have got you've heard of, he's talked to you before, and also who else is going to be on? Oh yeah, Trevor Chauvin, your gay pride fairy. He's going to be on early. He's going to talk to you about the new Fabulous. And Ellie Spawn also. Ellie Spawn from the National Progressive Party, bro. We're all getting together. We're working for the common good, guys. And out of many, one. One will. One nation. Under God. Indivisible. With liberty and justice for all. That's what we got to get back to. So if you're going to get back to that, make sure you subscribe to my channel. www.TommyNationPolitics.com. Facebook.com/Tommy. Y'all know the drill. I hate saying it, guys. Read the fucking captions. But make sure that you join my live stream. So the main show is going to be at 8 p.m. Central Standard Time. I'm going to be with the Gay Pride Fairy Trevor Chauvin at 6 p.m. Central Standard Time, 7 Eastern Standard Time. He's in New York. I got to make sure. We're going to have some fun, bro. He's a good friend. I can't wait to get gay with Trevor. So it's going to be a good month, guys. Hopefully it stops raining in Texas. May the Lord bless you and keep you. May his grace shine upon you and be gracious to you. His countenance upon you and give you peace. And may you always be free-thinking, innovative, and totally open-minded. This is Tommy Nation Politics. Work.